Hello, and welcome to my channel. Prepare for a night of terror, psychosis, cults, night stalkers, hostages, let's not forget massacres. A night when you're in someone's unconscious mind, hoping and praying you can run away from the creepy person in your backyard, or maybe escape from the deranged person holding you hostage. Being the audience yourself, you start to ask yourself, how did I get into this transcendental science? It'll trap you in your own mind like a prisoner. Lock your doors, say your prayers, stay out of the driveway, be aware of the bumps in the night, and the prickles in back of your neck during a good night's sleep.
I was always taught not to ever mess around with evil because of the consequences I could end up facing. At the age of 24, I did one of the most desperate things. Well, I thought it was pretty desperate at the time. I attempted to do it and ignore the consequences, but also not know what type of doors I would be opening. I had broken up with a guy, and it was over a bullshit rumor that my ex had been seeing me again, and it came from a jealous girl who decided to spread it all over my neighborhood. After days of crying, not eating, feeling hopeless, and calling tarot card readers over the phone, I decided to go to a botanica. Botanicas are known for selling religious and spiritual items, mostly owned by Latin people. I was already familiar with botanicas because I would purchase items such as amulets and bath products from a lady who only worked with light magic in Jackson Heights, Queens. However, this time I decided to enter a darker botanica. On a sunny June afternoon of 2016, I walked into San Miguel Botanica in Sunset Park, Brooklyn. As I walked in, I saw a bunch of voodoo dolls, Santeria statues, and different types of candles. I bumped into a handsome dark-skinned guy, but then I turned around and saw a heavy-set Dominican lady with red hair. She approached me with furrowed eyebrows and looked pretty unwelcoming. I tried to tell her in Spanish what I'm looking for. I briefly explained to her what I wanted because of how depressed I was after being dumped by my boyfriend. I simply told her I am not looking to kill anyone with dark magic. She quickly shook her head and said, "No, don't worry. I'm a mother. I don't do things like that. I only work with white magic." I called bullshit when she said that because, as I said earlier, her botanica had voodoo dolls, and I thought, why did she have statues of Chango, Yemaya, and the Santa Muerte behind her desk? But I didn't care. I thought the darker the magic, the better, simply because my thought was time is of the essence. She prepared a jar with the couple's magic candle, a separate photo of both me and my ex-lover with a petition in it. I assumed it had other ingredients, but I didn't ask what was in it. After she handed me the jar, I paid her half of it in cash and the rest on my debit card. I was given instructions but felt negative at the same time. Like, what if this doesn't work? I was in doubt and I was desperate. I wanted the spell to work super quick, but that's not how energy works in the spirit world. I started preparing my prayers and petitions and lit a green candle on top of my jar. I let the wax drip on the jar first to make it stick to the jar. After lighting the candle, I noticed it was blowing black smoke. It didn't look like a good sign to me. I saw a dark shadow in the middle of my hallway, slowly walking towards the kitchen. The shadow looked like a bony figure with a black hood on. For some strange reason, I got goosebumps. My mom breaks a glass in the kitchen. "Motherfucker," she yelled out. "Not good. Why did a glass break into pieces?" Bad luck. I got nervous and stayed quiet. I cried one last time at 11:30 p.m. While letting the candle burn at the same time, my eyes felt heavy enough to shut on their own. The tears that I cried had my eyes feeling like I had just taken 2 Benadryls. At 3:25 a.m., I felt a burst of wind. I remember my air conditioner was set to 69, which was not too cold. I'd always have my sheets covering half of my face when I went to sleep, because I never grew out of it. I would always think something or someone would be touching my hair or the back of my neck. Believe it or not, I actually felt the covers slowly being pulled off my head. My eyes felt pretty heavy from all the crying I did. Then I went straight into sleep paralysis, praying and struggling to wake up with a bunch of Our Fathers and Hail Marys. I struggled trying to scream and kick through the sheets, my eyes blurred. I realized I'm laying on my back. I heard a whisper, "It's not over." A quick flashing image came towards me, resembling the Santa Muerte. It came at me with a demonic shout. I let out an unearthly scream. It was more terrifying than your usual jump scare that you feel in the middle of a horror movie. My mother awakens and asks, "Taylor, what's wrong?" "Another nightmare?"